coal is coal is one form of carbon material.
Yeah, true. We can say that. It's actually made up of only carbon also. We can also say that. Coal can be used as food. Yeah, it's great energy source. Yes. So coal is one of the most common sedimentary rocks found on our planet today. It is used for the cooking, fueling and building roads as well. There is a lot more to it, but have you ever wondered how coal was discovered or who started using it in the first place? The earliest recognition dates back to 4000 BC when Neolithic inhabitant in China carved out beautiful ornaments with black lignite. In the earlier days, people referred to it as black stone. This was more common among Marco Polo and his fellow travelers who described it as a black stone which burns like bronze. Coal is a carbon-rich material that is generally black or brown. It is evidently available all across the world. Typically, coal occurs in stratified sedimentary deposits. Coal may also be available.
Excuse me, please. Listen, I want pin drop silence. Vaishnavi deserves the attention of the whole class. It's a humiliation to me personally. I asked the question, did you ever read a paper from the Journal of Chemical Education? If you have never seen the Journal of Chemical Education, why do you humiliate me by talking and making noise? You have no legal authority to disturb my class. Go ahead.
Coal may also be available in different kinds. This variation may result from differences in the type of plant material, qualification degree, and even its range of impurity. Now, advantages of coal. Coal is cheaper than other fossil fuels, then easy to store, ability to convert into different forms, then minimum waste is produced. Actually, this is not an advantage. I'll come to it later on. But
Excuse me.
Yeah.
See, no standard book is devoid of mistakes, and this is a mistake. Much waste is generated from coal. Agree? If you do not agree with something, you should say, I do not agree. You have the liberty. Coal generates much waste. Go ahead.
creates employment. Yeah, like every industry needs worker to do the man work, but the coal industry needs more than just the average. Coal mining is a big business that is majority labor intensive. Hence, unlike other energy sources, it creates several job opportunity for drivers, miners, cleaners, loaders, and managers, etc. Now, disadvantages of coal. It is non-renewable source, harmful to health, then it causes noise pollution. It is
Excuse me. How coal causes noise pollution? Digging of mines causes much noise. Agree? Even though it's away from our habitation. Go ahead.
It is harmful to natural habitat and environment as well, and it creates a high level of radiation. Like although coal produces a high level of carbon dioxide, which can be hazardous to health, coal ash, a byproduct of burned coal, produces radiation alongside a high level of external radiation. These radiations are carcinogenic and might cause cancer in many people exposed to those radiations if not cautioned. Using safety gear is one of the ways to remain caution and avoid cancer and other radiation from illness. Now, my article topic was understanding our energy footprints, undergraduate chemistry laboratory investigation of environmental impact of solid fossil fuel waste. Now, the introduction. Due to increase in electricity demand, 40% of world electricity is generated from coal. Now, using coal for the production of electricity has many disadvantages as well. Like as burning coal produces many toxic gases as well as solid waste too, which later on is difficult to discard. Coal combustion produces a large volume of solid waste including bottom ash, fly ash, gypsum, etc. Coal is often cited as a primary contribution to the global warming. To produce electricity and fed into boilers to generate steam to fed turbines, 600 to 800 million tons of ashes generated annually, in which some percent of ashes find its way into building materials and as a flue gas desulfurization absorbent. The majority is disposed of dry or in slurry from the lakes, the oceans and the land.
Excuse me, please. What is flue gas? Akbari? Flue gas. Flue gas is the gas that is emitting from the chimneys of the industrial installations. Ria, what is desulfurization? Yes. Here, flue gas desulfurization. Why do the flue gas contain sulfur? What is the form of sulfur in flue gas? In what form? Yeah, sulfur dioxide and other oxides. Any other oxides?
So inorganic organic sulfurs are also present, like heterocyclic compounds.
Very good. Benzosulfonic acid, thiophene, and many other organic sulfur compounds are also present. The organic compounds are more mysterious and mischievous and harmful than inorganic SO2. Gaseous means not only inorganic, organic also. Agree? Go ahead.
So basically, coal ashes contains heavy metals which reach under acidic conditions and contaminate surface and groundwater as well as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, carcinogenic that form incomplete combustion of carbonaceous sources. In order to combustion, it is possible to extract gaseous and liquid fuels as well as platform chemicals, hydrogen and ammonia by heating coal in limited or no oxidation condition. Now here, as we saw that polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are also included in the solid phase, but actually it is not present later on.
Excuse me, what is PAC? What is PAC? PCH. PCA. 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 Polycyclic. Can Shreya one example for polycyclic hydrocarbons? Anthracene, naphthalene, polycyclic, anthraquinone. Yeah. Quinone is oxygen containing heterocyclic compound. Polypyrrole. Pyrrole means nitrogen containing heterocyclic compound. These are called polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Please go ahead.
Now there are two utilization pathways for oil shale. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by oil shale?
Shale oil is like you know, shale oil is the chief source of fuel used in some African nation that start with E. Not Ethiopia, Eritrea or something. There is some South African nation that starts with E, not Ethiopia. It's Eritrea or something. 70% of the energy in that nation that starts with E in South Africa is using shale oil. Shale oil is like stone. Oil in stone form. It is analogous to coal. Okay, shale oil. It's widely used in an African nation, but in America also it is going explored widely for exporting. Please go ahead.
Now, direct combustion of electricity generation that yield the silica-based ashes and extraction of oil contained within the rock via pyrolysis between 500 to 900 degrees Celsius. Current oil extraction processes produces vast quantity of semi-carbonaceous waste known as semicoke. Now, the semicoke is none other than the solid residue obtained by carbonization, especially of coal at a relatively low temperature. Now, less than 10% of semicoke is incorporated into construction material. The majority is disposed to the open landfills. A second potential use of semicoke is as a coal-fired fuel. While PAH present in the semicoke are lightly oxidized during co-firing, elements such as sulfur present in the semicoke may lead to troublesome emissions and ash still remain. So to know the proper content of all the toxic solid heavy metals and gases as well as the laboratories of the Department of Chemistry, Simmons College, Boston in United States had charged the students for the determining of the extent of PAH and heavy metal contamination present in ash and semicoke of both coal and oil shale. So from this article we get better understanding of the following: application of an EPA method to quantitatively analyze metal content of a solid sample, extraction and semi-quantitative analysis of semi-volatile components via gas chromatography, mass separation, data analysis, interpretation in the context of contamination screening levels to make recommendation on potential hazards of solid waste disposal. fuel and environmental consequences if fossil fuel usage.
Excuse me, wait, please.
Yeah.
Vaishnavi, please wait. Gas chromatography. Are you introduced to the topic of gas chromatography?
Yes.
Yeah, gas chromatography is a technique to measure to quantify. It's a quantitative technique to analyze various organic compounds. On the x-axis, it will be quantity, percentage, concentration. On the x-axis, it is retention time. Based on the difference in the retention time, different compounds will elute from the column as a function of time. The gas chromatography phenomena is based on adsorption and desorption technique. This gas chromatography technique is used here to quantify how much volatile organic compounds are present in the fuel gases that are emitting as a result of combustion of coal and oil shale. Yes, please go ahead.
So total two activities were performed by the students. So first was for the determination of heavy metals in the ashes and semi-core. These type of dry sample analyzed by X-ray fluorescence using a Thermo Fisher Scientific nitrogen XL3D. The X-rays was programmed for the EPA method.
Excuse me, Vaishnavi.
Yeah.
If you carefully notice, dear students, here Vaishnavi is introducing to us a very important analytical technique. Can anyone catch? Yes, thank you. XRF. What is the full form of XRF? X-ray fluorescence. Mana, what is fluorescence? What is fluorescence? It's an immediate emission. It's a spontaneous emission, opposite to phosphorescence. Phosphorescence hota hai delayed emission. Okay. What I emit is fluorescence. What some others do is phosphorescence. Phosphorescence is called delayed emission. Whenever there is a gap between absorption of light and emission of light, it is called delayed emission, phosphorescence. Phosphorescence and phosphorescence are only differ in time of emission. Please go ahead.
Now analysis of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. This was performed by the student using gas chromatography. Now what do you mean by chromatography? Chromatography is a technique that separates components in a mixture by the difference in partitioning behavior between mobile and stationary phases.
Please, where do you write that mobile and stationary phases? It's from your mind. Yeah, you see, that is the beauty. Though you present something, what is present in screen, you should be able to explain that. You should be able to give more than that. Let us do a big hand. It is the difference of the distribution of the analyte between the stationary phase and the mobile phase. In GC, what will be the stationary phase and what will be the mobile phase? Agreed? The mobile phase will be, we'll prepare the analyte in some, dilute acids or dilute acids or some solvents, some specific solvents. That is called the mobile phase. Stationary phase is the material that is packed in the column, usually zeolites. A specific, each column will differ in the stationary phase. The packed material, the material that is present in the column. We have different columns like capillary columns and some other columns. Depending on the retention time, depending on the nature of the compound, the stationary phase will vary and the mobile phase will vary. Vaishnavi has introduced to us a new term, stationary phase and mobile phase. You should understand how the stationary phase and mobile phase differ for different analytes. Okay, please read GC book. There is a beautiful book by Willard Merritt Dean. Willard Merritt, M-E-R-I-T, Merritt, and D-E-A-N, Dean. Willard Merritt Dean has written a beautiful book on instrumental methods of analysis. In that, you can read about chromatography, the stationary phase and the mobile phase. Okay, please go ahead, Vaishnavi. Thank you.
The resultant discussion on the above experiments was the whole sample were determined using XRF to contain 1.4 to 1.7 weight percent sulfur in good agreement with the 1.73 weight percent sulfur content reported by the local utility company who provided the sample. In contradiction, the coal ash sulfur levels are significantly lower
excuse me. I think you have understood the problem of sulfur emission by combustion of coal. Taj Mahal. Where is Taj Mahal? Taj Mahal is in Agra. Taj Mahal, the major problem today is acid rains. Because of acid rains, you know, the color of the marble is changing from white to yellowish because of acid rains. It could be HNO3, it could be H2SO4, it could be man-made. Do not neglect the intervention of man-made contamination. That should not be overestimated, neglected. Okay, man will cause much mischief and attribute this to natural disasters. Yeah.
So actually time is up.
हो गया?
Yeah, 12,
60 minutes over. Please go ahead.
Yes. The GC and mass analysis of extracts from semi-coke showed naphthalene at high concentration. The EPA for naphthalene in industrial soil is 17 ppm, and other than the Green River 19 GDP semi-coke, naphthalene was detected in concentration several order of magnitude higher than the RSL for all the oil-shaped semi-coke. Naphthalene is classified as a possible carcinogenic and according to the National Institute of Health. Exposure may destroy red blood cells. The GCMS analysis of extract from coal ash did not detect PAH. However, analysis of extract from raw coal revealed a number of PAH compounds. Thank you.
Give a very big hand to Vaishnavi. Thank you, Vaishnavi, for a wonderful and eloquent lecture. Thank you.